Just a few days ago, I had the chance to watch the unboxing video of this Mangmi Pocket Max, which gave me a pretty good understanding of what it looks like on the outside. Its specs, as you know, are Snapdragon 865, 8GB RAM, 128GB storage for 1,388 yuan. So, in this episode, let's dive into a detailed test of it, shall we? We'll thoroughly examine its streaming performance, gaming capabilities, and the meticulousness of its internal craftsmanship. Ultimately, we will proceed to fully disassemble it. This pair of buttons that came in the box, you see, they're mechanical micro switches. I've already replaced them with these because, personally, I really prefer this kind of tactile feel when I'm using them. The original ones, you see, actually utilized a conductive adhesive, a very standard, typical conductive adhesive. Nothing out of the ordinary, really. And right next to the D-pad, as you can see, there's a very small notch. It's located on both sides. When we want to disassemble it, we'll use a fingernail to pry at these two notches. My fingers are a bit on the shorter side, however. It attaches magnetically, and upon closer inspection of the interior, we can observe 8 distinct contact points. Additionally, at the top, there's a small slot designed to prevent incorrect insertion, serving as a foolproof feature. This same foolproof design is also incorporated around the button area, and at the very bottom, you'll find another set of 8 contact points. Oh, this tiny little thing is quite satisfying to fiddle with and organize, isn't it? Let's just give it a shot, shall we? What if we try inserting it in reverse? I wonder if it'll still manage to find its way and slide in properly. When inserting it, it might protrude slightly. However, with just a bit more force, it will settle in perfectly. It's designed to click securely into place. Oh, it's been inserted the wrong way, but even if you plug it in backward, there's absolutely no need to worry at all. We can clearly see that the buttons themselves won't be reversed, so then, will it perhaps be more difficult to snap it back into place afterwards? There's a bit of play, but it snaps on just fine, so no problem if you insert it incorrectly. Since it's magnetically attached, will it just fall off if it gets bumped? Like, let's pretend it drops on the ground. I'm really giving it a good hit now. It just won't come off. If I apply any more force to it, other parts of the device might get damaged, don't you think? Now, let's take a closer look at these ABXY buttons. The button layout, you see, is an X's type. It's quite unique in its design, offering a distinct tactile experience for gaming. Likewise, let's take a look at this particular button, shall we? Ah, indeed, there's a foolproof notch on the top, ensuring it can only be inserted in the correct, proper way. Wouldn't you agree? Now, what if we take it out and then try to insert it the other way around? What kind of situation would that create? For instance, if you accidentally insert it the wrong way, it appears it won't actually be able to fit properly in this specific direction. It could go in actually. Never mind, I'd better not attempt it, because if I put it in, I might not get it out. You can also choose to have the conductive rubber pad feel on one side and the mechanical microswitch feel on the other. Currently, whether you prefer the tactile feel of mechanical microswitches or the responsive feel of conductive rubber pads, the button layout remains the X's layout. There's no switch layout available. The physical buttons are standard as well. There's no circular D-pad option to choose from. Looking at the body, we notice it's significantly larger than its first generation AirX. The screen has also grown to 7 inches, boasting a 144Hz refresh rate, though it's still slightly smaller than the 8-inch Switch 2. Due to its larger size, it now weighs around 442 grams. The previous generation was smaller, at 280 grams. We can see that the control areas for the left and right hands, both vertically and horizontally, are quite wide. On the rear, you'll also find a prominent large grip, featuring high protrusions and adorned with metallic strips for decoration, present both here and on the other side. There are 2 back buttons, which are generally responsive, though they have a somewhat firm feel. This design effectively prevents accidental presses, however, I believe. The back buttons, in my opinion, should have some anti-slip texture or a slanted design, which would make them much more comfortable for your fingers. Now, as for the speakers, they are located on the bottom left and bottom right. This setup means that we could potentially obstruct the speakers when we're playing games. Similarly, easily covered are its 4 primary function keys: the back button, the home button, the select button, and the start button. We have to move our thumb significantly to operate them, and the same goes for the right side as well. This requires a much wider range of motion than some other devices. Honestly, placing the 4 function keys right here would be ideal. You know, like on the ROG Ally. The Ally X positions them perfectly in this spot. As for the speakers, they could be moved slightly to this side, preventing them from being obstructed. That's just my humble personal recommendation, of course. Around the joysticks, you'll notice illuminating lighting effects. These are large, full-size TMR joysticks. The joysticks themselves also feature a distinct metal ring, complemented by an anti-wear ring circling them. It looks like these joysticks should have removable caps. In fact, yes, they do. All in all, this is a very well-designed joystick. The tactile sensation when pressing from any angle remains consistent. The handheld's vibration is provided by a standard linear motor. The vibration feedback is pretty significant and quite strong, yet it doesn't utilize HD vibration. Now let's take a look at the volume up and down buttons and the power button, which also serves as the screen lock button at the top. They've all been meticulously designed to share an identical tactile feel, ensuring a consistent user experience. On the previous generation of AX, they were separate, so we could differentiate between volume up, volume down, and the lock screen, as there was a distinct gap between them. So with this one, what tends to happen when we're busy operating it? You might mistake the far right for volume up and the far left for volume down. You'll need to get used to adjusting the volume here. At a shutter speed of 1/4000th of a second, we'll examine the dimming performance at various refresh rates. First, let's take a look at the 60 Hz setting. Right now, it's operating on DC dimming. However, when the brightness drops below 40%, it transitions to PWM adjustment. Next up, we'll check the 90 Hz setting. At 40% and below, it's PWM. Let's take a look at the 120 Hz refresh rate. Above 40% brightness, it's DC like dimming, and below 40% it switches to PWM dimming. Now we'll check out the 144 Hz refresh rate to see how it performs. At 144 Hz, it utilizes global PWM, operating with both high and low frequencies. The sound apertures are quite diminutive. We're still unaware of the specifics regarding the internal speakers. We'll ascertain their precise dimensions once we've disassembled the device. The system runs on Android 13 and features its own dedicated game launcher. Once you've downloaded a game, it will automatically show up within its front-end interface, which also comes equipped with convenient functions for retrieval, searching, and filtering, among others. If you long press the home button, which is the little house icon, a quick access bar will appear on the right side of the screen. This bar displays important information such as the screen refresh rate, the fan speed, the CPU and GPU usage, and also the current temperature readings. Moreover, you can fine-tune the performance settings, switching between options like power saving, balanced, streaming, and even a high-powered turbo mode. The fan also offers the option for you to manually select its rotation speed, or it can automatically adjust its fan speed based on the different modes you choose. You can also manually select and adjust the refresh rate to your preference. The performance overlay window when you're gaming can display the refresh rate and various other usage statistics right there in the top left corner. Additionally, you have the ability to adjust the button layout. Currently, it's configured for Xbox button mapping, but you can easily switch it to match the Switch button mapping, providing more flexibility for your gameplay. There's rapid fire speed adjustment along with joystick curve and inversion settings, allowing you to fine-tune your control. You also have a trigger button compatibility mode, a linear mode, and detailed options for trigger threshold adjustment, giving you precise control over your actions. And finally, there's the ambient light feature, offering several captivating effects like breathing, a vibrant rainbow, dynamic chasing, and steady illumination to enhance your gaming atmosphere. You can also choose to disable the long press home button function. The final section provides quick adjustments for brightness and sound, along with screen recording and memory clearing. The sidebar and front end are quite standard, featuring all the essential functions you'd anticipate. It has a Snapdragon 865 with a benchmark score of over 1 million. Playing PS2 games is no problem at all. Regarding the 8000 mAh, I actually forgot to mention the charging rate. It's written on the back, 5 or 9 volts with a maximum speed of 27 watts. The memory is a standard memory configuration, but these handhelds usually support card expansion. You can see it takes a TF card for expansion. Here's its microphone, the 3.5mm headphone jack, and the Type-C port, which should support video output. Let's check out the gaming performance now. This is God of War 2, smoothly running at 2x resolution with a consistent 60 frames per second. Now, let's unleash a powerful special move. And next up, we have Valkyrie Profile 2, running smoothly at a perfect 60 frames per second. You can enter the transfer hall and then you can exit the transfer hall. This allows for seamless entry and departure. Let's crank its performance to super mode and try PC emulation to really push this 865 to its limits, squeezing every ounce of power from it and seeing what it's truly capable of. And now, we'll try Resident Evil 7 to see how it performs. When in super mode, the fan becomes noticeably louder. You can really hear the difference in its sound. The ambient noise was previously measured at 36 decibels. Now let's take a look and see what the current reading is. It's around 51. Below it, you'll see the frame rate, currently sitting at 32-33 FPS. Let's put this device through its paces and really make it run. It's lagging quite a bit. Here, it plummeted down to just 20 frames per second, then even dipped further to 10, 12 frames, settling at 13 frames per second. However, once the scene simplifies and becomes less graphically demanding, it rebounds, stabilizing at around 22 to 23 frames per second again. And PC emulation isn't quite as smooth after all, it's merely a Snapdragon 865, little nightmares too. So, as you can see, the frame rate, it's roughly around 20 frames per second. It's not the smoothest experience, but for what it is, it's holding up. We're observing about 20 FPS, sometimes a bit more, sometimes a bit less, but that's the general range we're consistently seeing here in this particular scenario. It's an interesting benchmark for sure. When it comes to PC emulation, the Snapdragon 865 really finds itself struggling quite a bit. Let's take another look at the temperatures after running it for a while and see how they stack up, shall we? The main heating area is located on the left side of the screen. This section appears to be the screen's ribbon cable area, where the temperature registers at approximately 28 degrees Celsius. The remaining areas of the device show a relatively even distribution of temperature. That's just a reflection. You see, the controller's grip area itself isn't showing any significant warmth whatsoever, even after extensive use. This specific spot right here, and also the entire right side of the device. Now let's take a look and pinpoint exactly where the heat is concentrated on the backside of the device. Oh, this is probably where the processor is located, I would assume. It's around 18 to 19 degrees Celsius, you know. Everything's still good. I can't really feel any noticeable heat from it at all. It's quite cool, actually. Alright, so now, let's go ahead and give this Wii U emulator a try, shall we? Playing this is absolutely no problem at all. The Wii U, without a doubt, can effortlessly achieve a perfect full frame rate with consistent, smooth performance and no noticeable drops or stuttering, ensuring an optimal gaming experience. It's truly impressive how well it handles it, running perfectly at full frame rates. Alright then, let's switch to streaming mode. Our stream is set to 1080p, running at 120 frames per second. The network latency, as observed, is approximately 8 milliseconds, while the corresponding input lag registers at around 3 milliseconds, providing a generally responsive gaming experience. Alright, now let's dive into the extensive battle sequences of Black Myth, Wukong, and find out what kind of frame rate we're looking at there. It's not about the frame rate at all. No. Instead, let's actually take a closer look and try to figure out what the latency is, shall we? That's the real crucial metric we need to focus on here. Wouldn't you agree? The minimum input lag for this is roughly around 3 to 4 milliseconds, I would estimate. Alright, so the network latency, it's roughly around 8 milliseconds, and as for the input lag, it's coming in at approximately 3 milliseconds at the very least. That's a pretty good performance, all things considered. The input lag isn't drastically low, but it still delivers a solid, respectable performance overall. So how is the directional input of the D-pad when you press it down? These mechanical microswitches definitely provide superior directional input. Just look at the diagonal inputs. There are no errors and absolutely no ghosting issues whatsoever. So let's just pop it off and take a look to see if the conductive rubber pad is causing any ghosting issues or if the timing is off at all. Alright, let's start with the diagonal inputs. We'll try the bottom right first, move it around a bit, no issues there. Then the bottom left, top right. It's all perfectly fine, and there's absolutely no ghosting happening whatsoever. Of course, this large screen also supports a large screen, pixel-perfect point-to-point display capability. For playing retro games, the Snapdragon 865 is definitely powerful enough.
Finally, let's go ahead and take it apart to get a look at the internal components.
Upon opening the back cover, you'll immediately notice the left and right controller boards, as well as the left and right speakers. Their size is quite substantial for a device like this, each with its own dedicated sound chamber, though the actual sound outlets are rather small. Then there's the cooling fan and the heatsink fins, all of which are constructed from plastic. This is a typical vibration motor that's covered by the casing, nothing out of the ordinary really. Now let's take a look at the battery. It's an 8000 mAh battery, which translates to a substantial 30.8 watt-hours. What do you all think of this internal build quality? So, all things considered, how do you feel about the Mangmi Pocket Max, especially with its launch price of 1,388 yuan? It features a gorgeous 7-inch display, boasting a blazing fast 144Hz high refresh rate. It features a glass panel, a generously sized battery, and robust active cooling for sustained optimal performance. One more aspect is its replaceable magnetic D-pad and ABXY buttons. As I mentioned earlier, it would be even better if there were more alternative button configurations available. Now let's also take a moment to examine whether its tempered glass screen protector offers full screen coverage, shall we? When applying the protector, you'll need to be extra careful as the glass's edges are subtly curved. And with that, our video for today concludes. If you found it enjoyable, please remember to hit that like button, share, and subscribe to show your support. Wishing you all a fantastic and joyful day every single day. This has been Playtech.